Hi, my name is Jeff Fassbinder and I'm here with Lion Corporation and we're unveiling the T-REX100. We're going to go over some general tips on setting it up and getting it ready to fly. And this is the box that you'll see here at your local hobby store. We're going to open this up right now and take one out of the box to let you see how easy it is to get one in the air and flying. So let me start by cutting this open here, the package. When you open the box, you're going to find a number of little helpful tools here. There's a general help guide that comes inside the box that explains some of the features of the radio and the helicopter. And there's two compartments here. One's for your helicopter. Pull this out. This contains the helicopter and all its contents. Put this out of the way here for right now. And then we also have a box for the radio. Separate. Pull that open. Nice tight packaging here. Does include the batteries. This here. And then we got some cables here. One's for the simulator. This is a simulator cord for using your computer via the USB. The software is included inside of the box down at the bottom here. So if you want to try out your radio and the way the helicopter operates, you can check it out on this software that's included on the disc here. But for today, right now, I'm going to put that aside. We have also the Align LiPo battery charger, so you can charge up to 2 batteries, hooking up via your USB, which is also a great feature of the T-REX100, and also utilize the radio, which has a built-in charge port for if you're out at the flying or whatever, which is located on the side of the radio here. So you can also charge your battery there. And you also charge your radio actually via the USB cable that's included with your kit. These 4 batteries that are included here. So we're going to put that in there. Let me put this away. Put this up. Please note that if you are using the batteries, use the ones that are included with the Align packaging. These are rechargeable batteries. They're not normal alkaline batteries. Don't try and use the charge function with alkaline batteries in your radio, because it could cause problems for yourself there. So again, use rechargeable batteries only that are included with the kit. So put those in there. And we'll check it out real quick. Simply switch it on there. You'll notice that there's a display here that has rotor blades in the helicopter, and as you advance the throttle, what starts to happen is the rotor blades start to spin there. That's just to signify to you that the motor is operating and spinning the rotor blades. This particular one is in mode 2 here, this radio. It's also easy to convert this from mode 1 or mode 2 simply by lifting the gimbal out with the 4 screws here and basically swapping locations. So you can change that out very easily. But we're going to use mode 2 today, and let's pull out the helicopter and take a look at what's inside the box here. Pull this out. Pull this out of the tray here. Alright, you'll notice that there is rotor blades, a rotor head, the complete helicopter, canopy, 2 rechargeable batteries, as well as this nice little Phillips tool here for your use. Pull that off there. We're going to pull out the main helicopter. Put this down here. When you look at it, you'll note that there's basically 2 servos, and there's a main gear and a main shaft here. Before doing any of the processes, make sure that you hold the main gear and press on this to ensure that the main gear is inserted firmly inside of the lower main gear. All right, before we start building. So I'm going to pull out the rotor head. It's completely built for you right out of the box, so there's no assembly required. There is a screw right here that is used to tighten the rotor head. We want to make sure that that screw is not in the way of the main shaft when we insert it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out, the Phillips screwdriver that's included, and just back this out ever so slightly, looking down inside here. And I want to make sure when it's inside here that that screw isn't inside basically the shaft that we're going to insert on top of the head here. So what I'm gonna do is put this on here, hold the base of the main gear, insert on the main shaft, and then just press down. Okay, and just nice and easy, don't force it. If it's forcing it, you might have that screw in the way. When I do tighten this up, there's been people asking questions about this. You want to gently screw this small Phillips head here. Gently, very gently. I'm just using my index finger here just to barely snug it up. Snug is the operative word here. We don't want to over tighten. If we over tighten, what will happen is you can induce basically, you know, shake or vibration, and that will cause your tail to work poorly, and we don't want that. Also want to point out that there are 4 balls on the swash plate, and if you're just starting out, this is your first helicopter, you want to use the smaller of the 4 balls that are on the swash plate, and the reason for doing so is that it'll lessen the amount of cyclic control given to you on the radio. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put it on the smaller hole just for starting out here, and let's see if I can get that so you can see that once I get done here. Pop this on. For those that have big fingers, just work patiently, and you can just put that on there and just make sure it snaps on. It snaps on. Okay, now before we hook up a battery or anything else, what you're going to want to do is basically put it in your hands, look at this piece right here. This is the top of the rotor head, and you're going to spin it with your hand. Spin that main gear. Spin it like that, and ensure that it's spinning smoothly, that it doesn't have any vibration. If it does have vibration, what you want to do is get this screwdriver here, back off the pressure of this screw that you've tightened down. Again, you want to gently tighten that. You don't want to over tighten. If you do over tighten, what it'll cause is a distortion in the head, and that will not run true. And that vibration transmits to your tail, and again makes your tail a little less effective. So we're just trying to get the optimal flight performance out of the T-REX100 here. All right, so we've gone over that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get a battery here, and we're going to test out the rotor head. Simply get a battery. The batteries are not pre-charged when you get it. You will need to charge them. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 steps here. We're going to do a bind step. So what that requires is you take your battery, you insert that into the base of the helicopter here. Insert this in. Push. Okay. Notice the light is blinking. Okay, just set that down next to your radio, and then we're going to switch on the radio here, and it'll turn solid. And once it does go solid, you will be able to move the controls. Okay, I'm moving the cyclic side. This is for fore and aft, side to side movement. Throttle I'll do once I'm holding the helicopter. Make sure you don't test that without holding onto the helicopter. So now that I'm holding it, there's another feature here if you're just learning. And what this is compensation for torque on the rotor head. And what you're going to notice is the swash plate here, I'll tilt it towards you so you can see it better, is going to tilt. And this happens for the first, I'd say, 1/3 of the throttle range. And so I'm going to spool this up, and you notice it's tilted. And that's to help you so it won't drift to the left on you, because the blades are rotating clockwise. As we move past half throttle though, it goes level. And this is a built-in programmed mix to basically ensure your success of flying the T-REX100. So that's something that is a feature, and it is not something that's operating inaccurately. It's actually a feature to help you fly. Okay, reason for doing so prior to flight is we want to ensure that the swash plate is level. And basically what you want to do is make sure you got a firm grip on it, the T-REX100. We're going to spool the head up here. I'm advancing the throttle. Okay, and once I get to half throttle, the swash plate should be level. Make sure you look at that it is level. If it's not, what's going to happen is it's going to cause the helicopter to drift forward or aft or left or right. So we want to make sure that it is level. If it's not, it's very simple. We'll chop the throttle here. Prior to flight, you want to do this. Always take a look at this. But if you should happen to have one that's a little high or low, simply pop this off, this ball link. You just pop that off. It's not very hard. And then you can either go out or in. So in this case, I'm going to go out a turn, and then I'm going to pop that right back on. Let's see if you can See that there? We'll pop that in. And what that's done is help me to level the swash plate. So if you see that off, if you do see it off, make sure that you do this. That way you'll avoid having to use a whole lot of trim. Even though you do have trim features in the radio, this will enable your helicopter to fly level mechanically, and that's the best way to set it up. So let's check it out again. We're going to spool that up and make sure that it goes level. And it's looking pretty good right there. And so basically we could use this to fly the helicopter. But you want to do that. So the T-Rex right now, as you see it right now, is basically ready to go. My battery's not fully topped off, but what we're going to do is we're going to do basically a quick spool up here on the table, and we'll check it out, just lift it off. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put on the canopy here just to make it look pretty and get to see how it looks with the canopy on. Pop this in here. There's some little grommets that you pop on. And let me pop that on here. And pop another one here. There we go. Okay, now we got our canopy on. Let's clear some of this out of the way here. And we'll spool this up here. There's general controls, just so you know. This is up or throttle, if you will. This controls the attitude. This is fore and aft as far as the attitude of the helicopter. So the helicopter with stick movement forward is going to tilt this way. Aft will be this way, left, right. And then as far as for the tail, for yaw control, you'll use this stick, which also known as rudder. We'll turn the stick this way. The tail, or should I say the nose, will move in the direction of the direction that you're moving the stick. So when you go right, the nose moves right. When you go left, the nose moves left. Okay, so you're flying the nose when you're first starting out here, just so you know the orientation. So let's go ahead and lift off here and see how it does. There might be some slight trimming required, but we'll check it out right now. And that's what these knobs are here for as well, and that's to trim the helicopter. So let's lift it off and see what we got here. Once the batteries are fully charged, you can get about 5 to 6 minutes of flight. Right now, being that, again, we didn't charge it, we're just pulling it out of the box and flying it the way it was. We might have a little bit shorter flying time, but this will give you a good idea of how easy it is to get it out of the box, get it flight ready, and how stable it is. I mean, the tail's not vibrating at all. Very easy to control with that inner ball on the swash plate. And it makes for a great, learning experience for learning helicopters. If you're looking to get started, the T-REX100 is by far one of the easiest ways to get started in RC helicopters. That's the T-REX100, and I hope those tips have helped you get your helicopter, your T-REX100 in the air. Thank you for choosing Align. Hi, my name is Jeff Fassbinder, and I'm here at Align Corporation, and we're talking about the T-REX100 and post-crash inspection. If you should have a crash and crash your helicopter either into a wall or a table or something like that, there are a couple things you're going to want to look at. So, for instance, if you take off and your helicopter falls over like this, whoa, well, there's a crash for you. If your helicopter does crash and fall down, prior to flying it, you're going to want to check a few things. First and important thing here is the rotor head. And how you check that is very simply, you can hold the helicopter in your hand, and there's a main gear down here. You're going to want to spin that rotor head and check to make sure that this is running without any wobbles or any vibration. Make sure that that main shaft is basically bend free, which it is. The other thing you want to check also is the tail. The tail, if you were to bump into a tail or should I say a chair or a wall or something like that, you can bend this shaft. So in order to check that, what you want to do is just basically spool up the head. We check the head, And now we're also looking at the tail here. We're checking if there's any vibration. If there's vibration in the tail, there may be a need to either change the motor and or the tail blades. If you do bump into the wall on the main rotor blades, we do have spares available, but you want to make sure, you know, if you do crash into the wall and there's a tear or nick or anything like that, that you get one of those replacements that we have for the rotor blades. This is to ensure that you have smooth flight performance with your T-REX100 and also enable your helicopter to fly stable. So we're going to check it out. We did just fall off the table there just so you can see that. It is a very durable product, but by the same token, if there are damage, if there's vibration, it's best that you go to your local retailer and get those parts in order to optimize the performance of your T-REX100. There's another thing that can happen too when you crash, and that is the canopy. And we've gotten some questions from a lot of people online via Facebook or our online website, and that is, you know, they've cracked their canopy and they ask us basically, well, should I replace it? And the answer is yes. The reason you want to replace it is because that if it's torn or cracked, what will happen is it'll start wobbling, you know, with the some of the resonance within the main gear here like that, and it'll induce a vibration. Very slight, but what that'll do is degrade the performance of the tail rotor system, and so you're going to want to make sure that you just go ahead and get another canopy for it. It'll look beautiful, and your helicopter will fly a lot smoother for it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down here after falling off the table there so you can see how durable it is, and we're going to go ahead and fly this. So if you're just looking to get started, you got a relatively small area to fly in. It's a great helicopter. You can fly it indoors. Just getting, you know, acquainted with the movements of cyclic and the throttle, which is a fixed pitch at the moment here. And even after we've had a little incident there, still flies very well. So again, you can find this at your local retailer. This is the T-REX100. You get anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes with the full recharged battery, and it's a great little helicopter to learn on. Make sure you check us out. We'll land right here. T-REX100. Look for it in your local retailers.